What if I told you that the most powerful AI model ever built just became available to everyone? On June 9th, 2026, Anthropic released Claude Fable 5. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what it is, why it's a big deal, and how you can try it for free, but only for a limited time. Let's get into it. Here's the big news in 3 points. First, it launched on June 9th. Second, it's state of the art, which simply means it beats every other publicly available AI model on almost every test. And third, this is the most important part. It's a Mythos class model that is now open to the public. Don't worry if the word Mythos sounds confusing, I'll explain it right now. To understand why this launch matters, we need a quick backstory. In April 2026, Anthropic built a model called Claude Mythos. It was so powerful, especially at things like finding security flaws in software, that Anthropic was worried about it falling into the wrong hands. So they locked it down. Only around 150 carefully approved organizations were allowed to use it. Then, in May, Anthropic released Claude Opus 4.8 to the public. It was the best AI model regular people like you and me could actually use. But everyone knew something stronger was sitting behind closed doors. And now, those doors are open. On June 9th, Anthropic released Fable 5. It has that same Mythos-level power, but with new safety systems built in, which made it safe enough to give to everyone. That's the whole story in one line. The locked model is now public. So how did they do it? Here's the clever part. Under the hood, there's one single frontier model. Frontier just means it's at the absolute cutting edge of what AI can do today. That one model is offered through two doors. The first door is Claude Fable 5. This is the version for everyone, you, me, businesses, anyone with a Claude account. It comes with safety classifiers switched on. A classifier is basically an automatic filter that checks every question before the model answers it. The second door is Claude Mythos 5, same brain, but with no restrictions. This version is only given to a small group of approved organizations, like security companies and research labs who use it for things like protecting software from hackers. So remember, one model, two doors. Fable for everyone, Mythos for the approved few. Now let's talk about what Fable 5 is actually good at. 4 big areas. Software engineering, meaning it can write and fix code on huge, complicated projects. Knowledge work, which covers everyday office tasks like writing documents, analyzing data, and building reports. Vision, meaning it can look at images, charts, and screenshots and actually understand them. And scientific research, where it's setting performance records. In short, it's not just a chatbot. It's a serious work machine. But how much better is it really? Here's the number that matters. On some benchmarks, which are standardized tests used to measure AI models, Fable 5 scores more than 10% higher than Opus 4.8. And remember, Opus was the best public model just last week. Even more interesting, Anthropic says the longer and harder the task, the bigger Fable's advantage gets. So for quick questions, the difference is small. For big projects, it pulls way ahead. Okay, now the part that makes this release possible at all, the safety system. Let me walk you through what happens every single time you send a message. It starts with your prompt. A prompt is just the question or instruction you type. Before Fable answers, your prompt passes through a safety classifier. Think of it like a security guard at a door, checking every request in a split second to see if it touches a dangerous topic. For the vast majority of requests, more than 95% of sessions, the guard waves you through, and you get the full power of Fable 5. Coding, writing, research, everything. But if your request touches a high-risk area, like hacking, dangerous chemistry, or biology that could be misused, Fable steps aside and the older Opus 4.8 answers instead. You still get a helpful, smart response, just from a model that doesn't have the dangerous expert level knowledge. Anthropic says this happens in less than 5% of sessions, so most people will never even notice it. Here's my favorite feature, and honestly the most futuristic one. Fable 5 doesn't just answer and stop, it can work like an employee. It starts by making a plan, breaking your big goal into smaller steps. Then it executes. It actually does the work, writing the code, doing the research, building the thing you asked for. Then, and this is the special part, it checks its own work against your original goal, like a student reviewing their answers before handing in the exam. And if something isn't right, it refines. It goes back and fixes its own mistakes without you asking, then it loops. Plan, execute, check, refine again and again, completely on its own. Inside tools like Claude Code, which is Anthropic's coding assistant, Fable can keep working like this for days at a time. Not minutes, days. So what does that mean for you in practice? Here are 4 real examples. You could ask it to build an entire software feature, and it works on the code for days inside Claude Code. You could ask for a deep research report, and it plans, searches the web, and double-checks its own findings. You can hand it heavy document work, like slide decks, spreadsheets, and long analysis, or you can run it as an autonomous agent, which simply means an A that takes a big goal and handles all the steps by itself. Now, the part you need to act on. Pricing. Right now, Fable 5 is included for free in the paid Claude plans. That's Pro, Max, Team, and C-Base Enterprise. But here's the catch. That free window closes on June 22nd. From June 23rd, Fable 5 gets removed from those plans, and you'll need to buy usage credits, basically pay as you go, to keep using it. Anthropic says they'll add it back to subscriptions once they have enough server capacity, but no date is promised, so if you have it out. Trying it takes about 2 minutes. Step 1. Open Claude.a in your browser or the Claude app on your phone or desktop. Step 2, in the model selector at the top of the chat, pick Fable 5. In step 3, don't waste it on small talk. Give it something big. A real project, a multi-step task, something you'd normally spend a whole day on. That's where this model shines. So let's wrap up with the 3 things to remember. 1. Mythos class power, the strongest AI tier ever made, is now open to everyone. 2. Safety is built in. Risky requests are automatically rerouted to a safer model, and most users will never notice. And 3. It's free on paid Claude plans only until June 22nd, so the clock is ticking. If this video helped you understand Fable 5, hit that like button and subscribe for more. More A breaks. Good. Idiot and not salad.